What's going on, guys? Zeo here from the FallenRedZeo, bringing you more Marvel Legends. This time we have the Fantastic Four waves, so we get some Fantastic Four figures here, which is pretty cool. And they come with the build a figure of the Super-Skrull, so it's just a cool pack together. I think all fits together pretty well. We have one character, but by what I read about her, she kind of fits in with it, so it all kind of fits perfectly. But first up here, we have Dr. Doom and Mr. Fantastic, which of course we got Fantastic. To start off the Fantastic Four, and of course we have their biggest villain of Dr. Doom, and looks very cool, very nice, classic looking Dr. Doom, very awesome looking. And then that takes us to our next ones of the Invisible Woman and the Human Torch, ending off of course with Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four. And then we also have Hulk or She-Hulk, it's whatever kind of version you want to call her, but very cool looking. I think it's kind of like the gray She-Hulk, is at least that's what it looks like, and by what pictures I saw, that's what it is. So very cool looking, and she did have some interactions with the Fantastic Four, so she does actually kind of fit in with this set perfectly. Especially here with the thing, you can see the two Skrull heads there, so showing you we got the Super-Skrull to build, and you saw the pieces going through. So very cool that we got that to build a Super-Skrull with all the different powers of the Fantastic Four. Is very cool. So I hope you're excited to get into the set and see that Super-Skrull put together. And if you are, let me know with a thumbs up, and of course hit that subscribe button down below. Let's go and check them out. So first up we have Dr. Doom, or Victor Von Doom, and so this is very cool looking. I really like this figure. This is definitely super cool out of the set, so this is like a must have. It just looks so cool, and I'll kind of point out some of the stuff, but as you can see, it's just got a classic looking Dr. Doom. So he has his metal mask on there, which we'll talk about in a second, with the hood on around it. As you can see, he's got the hood on over his head, then he's got his cape on, so he's got the big gold clasp there with like the chain in between holding on his big long green cape there. He's just a bunch of green, you know, matching green color, which is pretty cool. It's like an olive green, and then he has like a tunic on here over the top, and so you can kind of see it's got a lot of texture going into it, which is very cool. He's got a belt on there around his belt with, again, another big gold buckle there. He's got a holster here with a gun in it that it can actually come out, which is cool. It has a D on there for Doom, so very cool. And then the rest of him is just in a knight armor, which is made of titanium, and very cool looking, and it's just awesome the way it's made. So it looks like, you know, like a medieval knight's armor, which is very cool, and just the way it's designed, so you can see the different like armor plating parts, and we'll see it down on his leg. Especially one thing I think is cool is these big like circles there on his elbow, which is kind of a classic thing. And of course that continues down to his legs and feet, so he's got the knee pads on there again with the circles on the sides of it, and then the pointed shoes there of the knight's shoes. But the cool thing that I want to point out is that the clasp there, so as the are supposed to be like the leather clasp holding the armor on, how it even has those details all the way up his leg, even under his arm and stuff there. Very cool. I really love that design with the chainmail underneath it as well. So very cool figure overall, very cool looking everything. So for Moonstone we get the head that can twist around, and of course the hood gets caught sometimes, so you just worry about that. But for Movement, that can look that far down and about that far up. Of course with the hood and everything it can't move too much, but pretty decent movements though, even with the hood on. And then the shoulders can come out about 90 degrees, so they come up about that high. Of course can rotate all the way around. He has the bicep twist and a double elbow joint there, so you can see at the top and the bottom. And then the wrist twist around, and it does have flex. Unfortunately though, this hand is a side to side, and because of his armor you can't really move side to side at all, just because there's no room for it, so that's kind of unfortunate. But with the other hand though, we can get it to move back and forth there though. And then we have an ab crunch and everything, but it's of course hidden under his outfit, so you can't really see it, and we just have the crunch like at the waist, so it twists there as you can see, and then does have a little bit of a crunch, so it can go forward a little bit, back a little bit. Oh, I did want to point out under here's cape, he does have things, I think that's for like jets, so it allows him to fly, and it's cool. It even has the hole, so if you had like the Iron Man pieces you could stick them up in there. And but unfortunately his cape does not want to stay in this hole, and it's hard to get it in the first place, so that's just a little kind of unfortunate thing about that. And once again, hidden under there we do have obviously the leg joints. The legs can come out a little bit, but the shirt does split apart, so you can see, you know, up in there the joints and everything, but it doesn't allow for too much range of movement though, out to the side a little more, because it can come out of that slot. But it does also have a thigh twist up in there, so it allows it to twist side to side. But we're coming down to what we can see, we got a double knee joint, as you can see there, goes up about that high. And then we've got the foot joint, so it's got a ball joint up right at the bottom of the foot, so it allows it to, you know, twist side to side like that. And then of course the foot itself can twist side to side on the peg, and it moves back and forth. But again, this foot I cannot get to move at all, it's just stuck. We'll have to do some for it, but this one can, so it obviously can move back and forth just a little bit. Not too much range of movement though because of the armor pieces. But again, a very cool looking figure. I love the look of this. It's just a nice classic design and everything. Of course with that foot it's hard to get him to stand up and everything because his foot's in a certain position. But Dr. Doom here is of course known as the King of Latveria, his home country, and his face was scarred up in a machine explosion that he was working on. So he ran off and came across a bunch of Tibetan monks in a village that ended up making this armor for him out of titanium, and he's been in that look pretty much ever since. Of course they've updated stuff over time throughout throughout the years. But as Dr. Doom, he has multiple different powers. So he has the power of magic, and through that he's also got telepathic powers. But of course, it's just Victor Von Doom himself was a genius, and of course, being the king of Latveria, he's also known as a leader. So very cool there, and of course, his whole titanium armor suit there made by the Tibetans. For other accessories, he comes with an additional head. I think this is maybe more like a classic look, because you can see all the like riveted looks there of the armor. You can see his mouthpiece, of course, his eyes in there. That's really all you can see out of him, and has the hood on, so you can switch the heads out, obviously, if you want. But I do believe this is a more modern style, more like updated version, compared to this being the old classic one. And then he also comes with some hands, so we got 2 fist hands to replace his open hand and grip hand for his gun, ending it off with the left leg of the Super-Skrull, so nothing too special about that, but very cool here. Definitely one of the coolest figures from the set, and definitely a must-have of Dr. Doom. And next up we have Mr. Fantastic, or Reed Richards, and of course we've done the Fantastic Four before through the Walgreens exclusive one, so we do have that video on the channel, and I'll go ahead, it'll be linked at the very end of the video, but I may also put it down as the pinned comment, so if you want to check out that video, you can. But this is very cool. I love the look of this Reed Richards. Like, of course, the outfit's, you know, pretty much just plain and simple, just an all black and blue suit, and again, a different take on the Fantastic Four's outfit, and then of course has the 4 there on his chest and everything, and again, just an all black suit with the blue outlines on it. But I really love the face. I think the face looks amazing. It's like almost a perfect comic book style face. It just looks amazing with the brown hair, of course, and he has his gray patches there on the sides of his head, especially after the accident, and then the beard, which of course it's not painted on, so like this side has more of the white patches or gray patches, and then the beard is a little crooked, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but then it has the gray in it as well. But besides the miscoloring, it looks very good. I really love the look of his face overall. And then, like I said, the outfit's, you know, pretty much boring because they're all just pretty much in the exact same outfit, so nothing too special going on. But for his movement's going to be pretty much same as Dr. Doom, but we can actually, you know, see the body this time, so his head can twist and look down and look up, so he's got good range of movement there. Shoulders come out 90 degrees, rotate around, bicep twist, and the double elbow joint, and of course the wrist can twist around and flex. Then we've got our ab crunch, so we have the upper ab crunch, so we can crunch that far back, that far forward, and then we have the twist right at the waist. The thighs come up about 90 degrees there, and then off to the side just a little. Of course, the thigh twist, the double knee joint, with the foot coming up that high, pretty much can kick his butt. And then the foot at the bottom has the flex back and forth, and then the twist side to side. So very good range of movements here, especially for Mr. Fantastic, because we know of his powers and everything, so it kind of fits in there perfectly. And speaking of powers, he's a super genius in math, physics, and engineering. Him, along with the other members of the Fantastic Four, were all hit by cosmic radiation when they went into a spaceship out in space and got hit with the radiation that gave them all their powers. And with his powers, he got a super malleable body that allows him to elongate and stretch. He can change his shape into different forms, and he's able to absorb explosions. So very cool for Mr. Fantastic and all his powers. Of course, we know his stuff's pretty simple and stuff. You know, he can stretch his arms out really long, and again, he can form like into a little ball and bounce around. And then, like I said, the explosions, he can, you know, like wrap himself around a bomb and like explodes. His body will, you know, puff up and everything. And speaking of elongation and everything, he's got, of course, his stretchy hands. So this is what they gave him for his elongation, which is very creepy. He gets these hands with these really long fingers, looks like salad fingers or something, just very long and creepy. So in the past one, we got, you know, a long arm and stuff, and we do get a long arm for the Super-Skrull, so that's probably why they didn't include one for him. But these fingers, though, are just really super creepy to me. And of course, for the Super-Skrull, he has the right leg, so again, another boring piece there, but very cool figure overall. I really enjoy this Mr. Fantastic. And next up, we have the Invisible Woman, or Sue Storm, and again, she's very much exactly like Mr. Fantastic in the outfit design, all the black and blue with the 4 on her chest, obviously with a female body this time. And again, she got her powers the same way as Mr. Fantastic, hit by the radiation, but then we all know that she got her powers of invisibility, so that's one thing she has. But if we look at her though, again, really the only thing that's different is her face. So again, there's a look at her face, you know, just a plain, you know, woman's face, nothing too special about the red lipstick, blue eyes, and of course the eyelashes coming up and everything, nothing too special. But then she has the blonde hair, very nice looking hair sculpt here that done by Marvel Legends. But for movement studios, she's pretty much the same as Mr. Fantastic, so we won't look at everything. But her head, she can look down quite a bit, but she can't look up because of her hair. And then she's a female, so she has a thinner joints, so like the real thin shoulder, which you have to kind of push down to get her arm up, and it goes a little bit over 90 degrees. And then really the only other difference is that she has the single elbow joint there, so it's the single joint, but it also has the twists. And then of course she has her open hand there that she can do her force field and stuff. Her ab crunch and twist are right under her chest there, so she has the crunch and then the twist as well. And then her leg joints are pretty much the same, just again real thin. And then she goes down to, has a high heel. Of course, they always give the female the high heels, and I forgot to mention it on the Reed Richards, but but they do have a weird like little tread. You can see it there on like the tip of her shoe. These shoes have like little treads on them kind of sticking up, if you can see those there. So that's kind of a fun thing about this figure. But yeah, other than that, she's going to be exactly the same as Reed Rich, so the legs and everything. But as I mentioned though, obviously as the Invisible Woman, she turns invisible, but she also creates force fields. And so with her hand there and the accessory, we got a little force field there, and it has just a little placement for her hand. So you just have to take and get her hand right into the slot, just slide it in there, and then she can hold the force field out. So she's creating a force field. So about like that, and looks very cool. I really like that look with the force field. And then the only other thing she comes with is the body for the Super-Skrull. So we got that there, and that's pretty much it for the Invisible Woman. And that brings us to the Human Torch, or Johnny Storm. And of course, he is the brother of Sue Storm and also involved with the cosmic radiation, but that turned his body into fire, so he can turn into a plasma form, which is his body completely covered in fire or looking like just a giant flame. But with that, he also has pyrokinesis and also gives him the ability of flight. So obviously we've seen Human Torch, flying around stuff. He's super durable in that too, so he can withstand a lot of damage, and he's a well-known mechanic as Johnny Storm. But for the figure itself, again, the body's pretty much exact same as Reed Richards, just a little bit different, but same all black outfit, blue details, the Fantastic Four logo and everything. So nothing too drastically different, but there's a look at his face. Again, another pretty good looking comic style face of a man here. So he has the short blonde hair, so pretty much matching Sue's, the blue eyes, and just the, just normal looking male face. But his body's pretty much exactly the same. He just has the butterfly joints on it. So right at his shoulder there, he has the butterfly joints. So it gives you, of course, that additional range of movement there. But other than that, it's exact same as Reed Richards, so nothing too drastic or different. And again, you can see the treads a lot more there on the bottom of the feet. So very cool. I kind of like those spikes all over the feet. But again, very cool outfit design and everything. But of course, we've already seen all the movements, so we don't really need to look at it. But everything else is the same. The double elbow joint as opposed to Sue and stuff. So nothing too drastic. Again, just the butterfly joint added on Johnny here. But one thing he does come with is quite a bit of accessories. So first off, we have some fire hands, or some fire stuff to put on his hands. And so you just take the fire and of course wrap it around his hand. We've seen these in the past. But then it also comes with a whole additional set of hands that are actual like fire hands, so part of his plasma form. So we have a fist hand and an open hand. We'll go and just stick the fist on. So they're just like that. So again, in his more plasma form with the flames coming off of it and stuff. So you can switch out both those to, make it more similar to the Human Torch. And of course, we don't have a head though, unfortunately, like a flame head to put on. Of course, we could take like the one from the Walgreens and put on it, but it's kind of weird. It comes with the hands and stuff, but no additional head to make into the plasma version. But that's fine. It still looks pretty cool though. And of course, you can mix and match the accessories like that. But of course, he also comes with the Super-Skrull pieces. So first off, we got the right arm of this Skrull, so just a normal Skrull arm. But then we also have, for the effects of the Skrull, the Thing style of arm here. So he's got the big, Thing hand and stuff. And you could go with that to even go with the Human Torch here. We also get a flame for it. So a flame that you can just take and stick on. Of course, we'll see it more in detail when we actually do the Skrull, but just a flame you can just take and stick on his hand like that. But very cool here for the Human Torch. And next up, we have the Thing, which is very cool. This is probably like either my first or second favorite figure from this set, but they just look super cool. And especially from that Walgreens one as well. I really enjoyed that one as well. I just like big bulky figures. They just, they just have a nice feel in your hand, and they're just, you feel like you get a lot of worth for your money and stuff since they're so big. But of course, the Thing here, or Ben Grimm, of course, Ben Grimm was a star athlete and became best friends with Reed Richards, and so he and Reed, went off to into the military and the Air Force, and he became an expert pilot. And when Reed Richards invented his spaceship, he brought Ben along to pilot the ship and everything. But of course, that caused him to get hit by the cosmic radiation as well, turning him into the Thing, which is of course this big giant orange rock monster. But he's very cool to me. I really like the look of him. And as you'd imagine, as a big giant rock monster, you get superhuman strength, stamina, durability, and it makes him immortal. So very cool. And so although he looks quite different and ugly compared to the other characters, he to me has some of the best powers though. But the look of this figure is very cool in my opinion. He has the all orange rock design, you can definitely tell by his body, but then it has a lighter orange, almost yellow color painted over the top for highlights and details. So it's there on his chest, on the top of his face, on his arm there, and top of his feet. And then he's in the Fantastic Four outfit, but he's got more like bicycle trunks as I call it. So he has the big Fantastic Four there on his belt. So nice big blue rubber belt there over the trunks that are mostly black with the blue details. But other than that, he's just an all orange rock body. So nothing real too special to look at details wise. But of course, so movements, so just his head's going to be about the same, move about the same. Of course, with big rock body, he can move his shoulders up to about 90 degrees. He has the single elbow joint as well with the a little bit of twist. The hands are going to be the same. His ab crunch, as you can see there, doesn't really crunch too much. He doesn't really have much crunch, but it does allow him to twist, and he also has the twist at the waist. And then his legs do come up about 90 degrees. He does have a thigh twist, like you can see it on this side, but the other side I can't get to move at all. The double knee joint, as you can see there, he has kind of a good range of movement. Of course, he can't move too much. His foot can go up about that high, and then of course he does also have his foot there at the bottom, can flex back and forth and side to side as usual. So just want to show that off since he's so big. You'd think he'd probably lose out some of the movements. Pretty much has all the same movements, so nothing really missing out on it though. Looks very cool though. I love the look of him a lot, so definitely probably one of my favorite figures of the set. But he doesn't come with any additional hands or anything. I think the Walgreens one did, but he does not. But he does come with the 2 heads of the Skrull. So we have just a head there that has like yellow eyes and just the mouth closed, and then the yellow eyes with these like smile and stuff. And that's going to be it for the thing. And our last figure of the wave is Hulk, or also what I'm going to call a She-Hulk. But this is Jennifer Walters, and she is the cousin of Bruce Banner. And she ended up turning into the Hulk when she got shot up by like a mob boss, and Bruce was there, and he decided to save her by injecting his blood into her, which of course then turned her into the Hulk, similar to her, but obviously as a female. And so she normally turns all green, but this time she's more of a gray, so I assume this is where she became the Gray Hulk, which she turned into a Gray Hulk in a storyline after Bruce Banner ended up getting killed, and then she faced off with Thanos, and during the fight with all the stress on her, it turned her into the Gray Hulk. And the picture I saw, she looked pretty much exactly like this, like an all gray skin, but with the green like blood sticking out all over. So I assume that's what this is supposed to be when she's the Gray Hulk version. But of course, being related to the Hulk, she has pretty much the same powers as him, so she has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, has the healing factor, which makes her pretty much immortal. So very cool powers, but obviously with her, she doesn't turn into the big giant hulking man like Hulk. She is a lot bigger and taller, and she's muscular, but she's more female body centered, so she doesn't look too drastic. Like if you just change her color skin, she just looks like a tall female. But she's also a lawyer, which is kind of interesting. So she's super smart, of course, like Bruce, and similar to what we saw in Avengers Endgame, she was able to, as in her Hulk version, transfer and use her intellect. So she's still smart and everything, is able to be a lawyer just in her all green Hulk body, which is pretty cool. But this figure looks very cool. I really love the look and design of this, especially with like the greenish gray skin, and then the neon green color over the top just looks super cool for like her blood coming out, or scratches, whatever they are on her. It looks very cool. Of course, as the Hulk, she has the ripped up, so she has a ripped up shirt, ripped up pants, so you can see her skin underneath, and then her face, so she gets the green lips, the green eyes. Her hair has a green tint to it, if you can see that, so black hair but has green tint over the top of it, and just looks very cool overall. Bare feet at the bottom, which actually the feet look pretty good. But again, a very cool looking figure. But for moments though, her head can obviously twist side to side and has some nodding, and her hair gets in the way. Shoulders are about the same, come up to a little about 90 degrees, and can rotate around. She has the bicep twist, the single elbow joint once again that has the little bit of a twist in it as well, but it's a kind of weird joint. It's a nice big weird joint. You can kind of see, you know, the parts sticking out there, a little bit different of a single elbow joint. Of course, wrist twist around and flex, crunch right under her chest, so crunch and twist, legs about 90 degrees, thigh twist, double knee joint, and of course then her foot flexes and twists. So pretty much the same as always, just wanted to show that for a different figure. But again, I really love that look and design of her overall. For accessories, she comes with some grip hands here, and then she also comes with the right arm of the Super-Skrull, so we have just again the normal arm there, and then she also has Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic hand, so it's stretched out like Mr. Fantastic, so I mentioned that earlier, and then of course it's going invisible for the Invisible Woman, so it's the mix up there of the powers and stuff for the Super-Skrull. Looks very cool, but that's about it for the She-Hulk. And so that gives us all the pieces here now to build the Super-Skrull, so let's go and get that together. So here we've got the Super-Skrull, and of course this looks super cool. I like with all the effects and stuff on it, but this is Clerk, which is of course a Skrull, and he was a member of the Skrull army that ended up getting sent to Earth and was embedded with the powers of the Fantastic Four to kind of make him in the Super-Skrull. So he has all the different powers, so he's able with this to be able to take on the Fantastic Four because he has all the same powers they do, but with the combination of, you can see here, so he has the elongation of Mr. Fantastic with the invisibility, and the things, you know, rock body with Human Torch's flame, so he can obviously mix and match and combination all the different characters. And being a Skrull himself, he has the ability for shape shifting, so he can, you know, turn into whatever character he wants pretty much. But then again, he has the powers of pyrokinesis and plasma form, so obviously he turns his whole body into the fire, and flight from the Human Torch. And then he's got superhuman strength and durability from the Thing, invisibility and force field powers from the Invisible Woman, and plasticity and the elongation from Mr. Fantastic. But the look of the figure stuff, again, its body is like the classic Skrull look, so with the almost all purple body with the black suit over the top of it, the green skin there with the face that we saw earlier. So again, has the chin very similar to what we saw with Thanos, but I put the smile one on in the yellow eyes, and then the all green skin with the ears. Looks a lot like a Hobgoblin or something. Then that goes again into the body where he's got the black suit over the top, so he has the shoulders that come out to the point, and it goes all the way down to like his crotch and stuff around there, as you can see. And then he's got the purple on underneath, so you can see his shoulders on the sides of him there, down his legs until the black boots at the bottom as well. For movement, so it's pretty much going to be the same as also the head can twist and nod, so it goes down and up. Got the shoulders come out about 90 degrees and can rotate obviously within the shoulder pad. And then I again have these these arms on, so he has the bicep twist, the double elbow joint, and the wrist can twist around and flex there with the visible hand. And same with the other side. Ab crunch, twist at the waist, legs come out 90 degrees, thigh twist, double knee joint, shin twist right at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So definitely all the same moves. So nothing too drastic going on there, but I just think it looks super cool with all the different body parts and stuff and the combinations. And then of course, as you saw earlier, he does come with normal hands. If you got like an extra Sue that came with the main body part, and then Reed and Dr. Doom for the legs, you could build a whole nother Skrull with additional arms and the additional head there. So you've got 3 of the 6 pieces, so you could just buy 3 more and build just a normal Skrull. So that's pretty cool. And so that's pretty much it for the Skrull here. And it was a very cool set overall with the Fantastic Four wave, of course, with this Build-A-Figure of the Super-Skrull. Very cool set. I really enjoyed the Dr. Doom and the Thing are 2 of my favorites. I really enjoyed that She-Hulk as well, or the Hulk, I guess. I really liked her colors and stuff. And of course, this is pretty cool, I think, to myself. The other Fantastic Four members, you know, we just had them before, nothing too drastic or different. Again, check out that video. It will be linked at the end or down in the pinned comments and stuff. You can check that video out as well of the Walgreens exclusive Fantastic Four members. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite character is, if you enjoy the Fantastic Four, who your favorite character is, or the figure itself. Who did you like the most out of all of them? Let me know in the comments. And of course, leave a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel to see more Marvel Legends as they're released. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you next time.